shit on the shelf. Cause the way the real wealth is being real itself. My life has seen the glory of the coming of the left. I can't do it by myself, so I'm asking for help. It's time to switch it up. Put the hip shit on the shelf. Real wealth is being real itself. My life has seen the glory of the coming of the left. I can't do it by myself, so I'm asking for help.
Money, money, money. All got this like wrong being wealthy. Like Kanye West said, having money is not everything, not having it is. Deuteronomy 8:18 says God gives us the ability to create wealth. No, it's the love of money that's wrong. You don't like money so much, why you have to go to most places to do it about quality things that you think are necessary. I'm just trying to leave a legacy for money. It's not everything, but
Good morning, Black world, and welcome to Talking Money in the Morning Live with your main man, H Cortez, the one and only financial health mentor to the Black community, everybody's favorite fatherpreneur, where I do my absolute best to bring practical yet proven wealth building strategies to working men and women all over this great nation of ours. Truly an honor, privilege, and a blessing to come to you live and direct from the Black Billionaires Club studios here in St. Louis, Missouri, and they are presenting this weekend in 2 days, the Generational Wealth Building Conference in Atlanta, Georgia, from April 6th through the 8th. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful conference and wealth building workshops and strategy sessions. All you got to do is go to wealth.joinhcorteznow.com. The plan is to get a couple of those guys on tomorrow or Friday to explain exactly what you're in for if you're serious about building generational wealth. If you're anywhere near the Atlanta metro area, you've got to show your face in the place. So go to wealth.joinhcorteznow.com to get your tickets. You can buy a weekend pass, or you can buy tickets for each individual event. They got a youth summit. They've got a steppers night on Friday, and part of their meet and greet. Saturday, they've got a wealth workshop for the kids. Saturday night, they've got a wealth workshop for women. How this young lady went from welfare to 7 figures. She's going to lay out her blueprint and game plan. And then, of course, Sunday, they're going to have all the heavy hitters, how to monetize gentrification and stop complaining about it, how to invest, stocks, bonds, crypto, international commerce. You just got to be in the building. Go to wealth.joinhcorteznow.com if you want to learn how to build generational wealth. Do me a huge favor. If you're checking us out on YouTube, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, man. You've got to hit the subscribe button. We missed the mark last month. We were trying to get up to 2,000 subscribers, and we fell a little short and only coming up with, let's see where we are now. We are at 1,862. So we were pressing towards the mark, but we came up a little short. So hit the subscribe button. We're trying to get 2,000 subscribers before the end of the month. So I'd appreciate that if you guys subscribe now to the YouTube channel, if that's where you're checking us out at. And go ahead and rate the show, and don't forget to leave comments. I can interact with you on YouTube the same way I do with my Facebook folks. And speaking of my Facebook folks, you guys know the price of admission is a simple share, but how to develop a wealthy mindset. So please go ahead and hit the share button. Just one moment. Please go ahead and hit the share button, and we can help everyone get educated and trained up on what it takes to develop a wealthy mindset, because wealth begins in the mind first and foremost, right? And then today's show is also brought to you by Financial Health Mentor Bookstore. Some of you guys have been trying to figure out how you can work with me, and maybe the Black Wealth Movement and a monthly subscription is not in the cards for you, but that's okay. Go to books.financialhealthmentor.com, where you can grab both of my books, Financial Health Traffic Report, Overcoming the Roadblocks Keeping You from Your Financial Destination, and Monetize My Life, 4 incredibly simple ways to profit from your passions. These 2 books will change your life. But in addition to getting these 2 books, there's some other perks to grabbing the book and coaching bundle. And one is you will definitely get a coaching session with me. A lot of people want to know how to correctly complete the W-4 form. Well, you'll get a coaching session from me, and we can help you do that when you get one of the book bundles. You also get a 1-month subscription to Monetize My Life Academy. It will help you build your brand. There's all sorts of courses, ebooks. I do live trainings, webinars, all that stuff that you need to build a robust brand, especially using the internet and social media. Information on how to do that. So books.financialhealthmentor.com. In fact, I was going to put it in the comments, but I don't know if Facebook ever came up live on me. So let me just do it here and throw that in really quickly. But yeah, book bundles start at $37. And that's a 15-minute coaching session, 1-month subscription to Monetize My Life. $67 is a 30-minute coaching session and 2 months subscription to Monetize My Life. And then I have the $97 coaching bundle where you get a whole hour coaching session with me. You get 3 months of Monetize My Life Academy. And when we do the coaching session, we do a video coaching session, and it's recorded, and you also get that recording as well. And then, of course, you are allowed into the Monetize My Life private Facebook group, in which case you get to get continual training and education from me on how to build level. So mentor.com. All right, there we go. So that's how you can get some coaching and some training and some education from me in that regard, if you don't want to join the Black Wealth Movement and be part of our monthly membership. So today we're talking about developing a wealthy mindset. And I don't know what's going on with YouTube. It's in and out, flaking. I'm hardwired into my internet connection, so it's a little unstable. But let's talk about developing a wealthy mindset. Before we do that, let me see who we have in the building this morning. We got Vivian. You got to develop your own brand, Vivian. So I know you got promoting Test Your Water and Young Living Essentials. Will make people right. So get your own brand. What is your own brand? Carrie Mays in the building, Lakeisha Huggins, and got East Hartford, Connecticut. No business yet. It's in seed form. Loving your wisdom. Okay. Well, let me know how I can help Stacy Bent. And then, of course, we always got Future Leaders LLC in the building. Joseph McKee, Learn and Earn Coaches in the building. Give me the name of your business and or brand so we can give you a business shout out. Whenever you're in a public forum like this, always shout out your business, man. I wouldn't be so disrespectful on somebody else's timeline to post a link, but I would always say, hey, Cortez Financial Health Mentor is in the building, right? Always shout out your brand. You never know who's on the timeline that might want to connect with you. Shanika Kelly, what's going on? I know she's also a serial entrepreneur doing big things in the community, helping people. And then on Facebook, we got Body Baba Zell in the building, as always. SFK Financial, Credit Restoration and Repair. Boutique House Enterprises and Seconds by Hand Resale in the building. Good deal. So we know Bill DeMar LLC is here. We know that wealth starts in the mind, teaching you how to build and develop that wealthy mindset. And whenever I need some information on a specific topic, I said, man, I'm going to talk about wealthy mindset. I have a go-to source that never lets me down, y'all. And if you guys are not following Black and Married with Kids, I put the link in the description to go like their page, but they also have one of the most comprehensive and power-filled blogs on the entire internet, man. It's blackandmarriedwithkids.com. It's just a phenomenal blog. They are great with their writing and the content, and they are always right on point. So we're going to talk about developing a wealthy mindset. We know that wealth starts in the mind. And this particular article is titled 5 Critical Tactics for Crafting a Wealthy Wealth Building Mindset and Securing Generational Wealth. And you guys know I'm all about securing generational wealth. So we're going to kind of see what they have to say. And I'm going to incorporate, of course, my thoughts on building and developing a wealth building mindset. But before we go get into that, I see that we do have a Johnson Family Legacy in the building, as well as Complete Vision Incorporated Real Estate Solutions in the building, and Lakeisha Jewelry in the building. There we go. Lakeisha starting to develop that on her own brand, Wilder Wellness Resources in the building as well. So what are 5 critical tactics that you can use to develop a wealthy mindset? All right. Says you got to shifting your mindset from spending to building is the cornerstone of any wealth building plan. So in our network, we like to say shifting your mindset is the first step to shifting your income, right? Shifting your mindset is the first step to shifting your income, right? And you've got to do that first to start getting on the path to developing and building a wealth building mindset. So a wealth building mindset means eliminating the Joneses from your vocabulary. That's the first. You've got to eliminate the Joneses from your vocabulary, right? Here's the thing, man. The Joneses will get you in trouble and keep you broke. You guys agree? Do you agree that the Joneses will get you in trouble and keep your butt broke? Because we don't know what's going on inside the mind and on the other side of the. We might see the neighbors go get a new car. And we're saying to ourselves, we work in the same field. We make about the same money. So if they can afford a new car, then I probably can afford a new car myself. So I'm going to go get me a new car because they got a new car. What we didn't realize that on the other side of that wall of the Joneses is they had a death in the family, and a wealthy aunt or uncle left them a boatload of money. And they went and bought their new car cash. You went and financed yours, even though there was nothing wrong with the car that you had. You guys understand? So you don't know what's going on the other side of the wall of the Joneses, right? The Joneses might not care about building generational wealth, and living check to check is how they just make it happen, and they don't care about that. And you go following and running up right behind them, and now you're living in the same way, right? Edwards, the way out says, "I am a Jones, and I can relate." right. You got to get rid of the Jones. You don't know what's going on the other side, and you have to stick to your guns and stick to your game plan. So, number one. Developing a wealthy mindset means you have to eliminate the Joneses from your vocabulary. Get tunnel vision and start thinking about and focusing solely on your goals and what it is that you're trying to do for you and your everybody. But I want to make sure that I have one the right way. Instead of buying that, which is a liability, I want to focus on putting my money into places that is going to bring me back more money. So I want to buy assets instead of liabilities, right? So a wealth building mindset means eliminating the Joneses from your vocabulary. Just keeping tabs on the Joneses is so easy with the popularity of social media. If you suffer from a case of the Joneses, you may find yourself constantly comparing what you have with others, with what others have. And especially when you think about social media is the highlight reel. See, some of you guys know I'm a youth basketball coach and trainer. And my son actually is, today we're going to take him to visit a college and work out for some college coaches today. And social media is the highlight reel. So when I was preparing his senior season to send to college coaches, what did I do? I took the highlight reels, the best plays from some of his games, and I compiled them all together. So when you see this highlight reel, it just shows him just busts out the include any of the bad habits, doesn't include any of the turnovers, it doesn't include the missed shots, it doesn't include the travels, it doesn't include when he got beat on defense, right? So the highlight reel is made to make him look really, really good. But you can't fool a good coach. A good coach says the highlight reel is cool, but let me go watch 2 or 3 of his whole complete games. See, you don't get to see a whole complete game of the Joneses' life. You see that 2-minute clip on Facebook where they're saying, praise the Lord, we got the big house. You see that 1-minute clip where they're saying, praise the Lord, we got a new job and we're making 6 figures. You see that 2-minute clip where they're saying, praise the Lord, I just got this new $1,000 bag for my wife for our anniversary. Those are the highlights. It's what they want you to see. You don't get to see the whole complete game plan. You don't get to see that they went to the payday loan store and borrowed $1,000 at 50% interest to buy the new bag for their wife. And you're comparing yourself with what you have and you're comparing to what they have. Don't get caught up, man, in this fantasy world called social media. Develop your plan and stick to your plan and do what you got to do to build wealth for yourself. What's going on, Vanessa? Body by Bazelle is on Facebook and YouTube getting in. All right, cool. Inwards, the way out. Where are you from? And what's the name of your brand over on YouTube as well? I apologize. YouTube is flaking out, man. And when I don't shut my computer down at night, man, it does some strange things. And I forgot to shut it down last night. So I apologize if you're struggling over there, YouTube. You can always go to Facebook. It is Financial Health Mentor on Facebook as well. All right. So that is eliminating the Joneses from your vocabulary. You got to do that, right? Baltimore. Vanessa, you got to develop your own brand. My econ is what you do or the engine behind what you do, but what is your brand, right? Like Financial Health Mentor is my brand. Hustle and Love is my brand. And it just happens to be powered by a few other companies. But my brand, what is your brand that makes somebody want to join my econ with you instead of joining my econ with me? You got to develop and understand the power of branding. Jonathan, what's going on, bro? Let's talk today so I can see where you are and how we can move you forward to the next level, man, because you should have seen some results from our first strategy. Let's see how we can take you to the next level. Number 2. A wealth building mindset means understanding you can't buy your self-worth from historically racist institutions. This one right here, y'all, here, it says you cannot buy your self-worth from historically racist institutions. Now, I'm going to give you their thoughts on it first, and then I'm going to give you there you go. So when I say drop your brand, that's what I'm looking for. your brand, and maybe your tagline. Man, live and love. Wealth Solutions is in the building. We do whatever, right? So live and love is the brand. So listen, man, you can't buy your self-worth from historically racist institutions. In fact, you can't buy your self-worth at all. But here's what they say. I want to give you what they mean by that, and I'll give you my take on that as well. It says, since our arrival to America as chattel Black folks have been rightfully bitter, we have been rightfully bitter counterparts block our attempts to break through to the middle class, garner access to quality education, and afford the luxury. Our class citizens has given us a collective chip on our shoulders when it comes to buying. Sometimes we spend as proof that we are just as successful as white folks. Sometimes we buy items just because white people have them. In essence, we consume conspicuously to show that if our money is just as good, we must be just as good. The truth about self-worth and net worth is that our self-worth is more likely to increase based on how much we save, not how much we spend on things we don't appreciate and value. See, we are caught up in trying to make ourselves socially equal to our interpretation of this. It fits in line with the way I think and what I'm trying to do. I'm damn being socially equal. I'm trying to be economically equal or better. And because we're caught up trying to be socially equal, our economics are in the toilet. Same way that I always say we are fighting all these social battles and we're losing the economic war. Right? See, a lot of the things that we're dealing with in today's society and today's economy, when you look at police brutality, when you look at the miseducation of our children, when you look at the school to prison pipeline, when you look at racism in corporate America and the inability for us to make the same amount of money, even though we're twice qualified, right? How many of you guys, and I want you to help me out here. How many of you guys have a master's degree or higher and you're working for a boss that may only have a high school diploma? Listen, y'all, that's systematic. That's not by happenstance. That is systematic. Some of us are working for people we got a master's degree, but we know that our bosses didn't even finish college. And because we are fighting, we spend our time focusing on them. And if we spend on winning the economic war, we will stem all those social battles. We will stem all of those social battles. Melanie said, been there. Yeah, Black materialism is a byproduct of low self-esteem and being socially devalued. Yep. So you can't buy your self-worth, people. You want to increase your self-worth, increase your net worth. If you want to increase your self-worth, increase your net worth. You don't know how to do that, then that's why you should invest $70 and join the Black Wealth Movement. My net worth increases almost every day because of some financial principles and strategies that I'm learning from some very, very wealthy people. You want to increase your net self-worth, increase your net worth. Buying a Coach purse don't increase your self-worth permanently. It may do it temporarily, but then what happens? $500 on that Coach bag. and you feeling all good, got your chest poked out, and you stunting on them. You with that worth then goes back in the toilet. Fellas, what happened when we take our hard-earned money from our labor and we finally get them rims on that car and we finally put those beats in the trunk, and then we pull up on somebody and they got bigger rims, they got better beats, they're in a 2019. What happens to your self-worth then after you paid all of this money to temporarily boost it? You cannot buy your self-worth. All right, inwards is the way out. So that's Alex, my man Alex over there at South Carolina in the building. Faith is the brand, foundation of active helping hand. Cannot buy your self-worth. If you want your self-worth, increase your net worth, and your self-worth. We decrease brutality until we own the communities where we live. It's not until you own the community where you live that but because we're marching and bringing attention to police brutality with no economics backing any real change, then we're spinning our wheels. How long have we been marching about police brutality? It's been going on since the end of slavery. And because we don't own any of these communities, we cannot dictate who polices these communities. Those are just facts. I'm about to show y'all how it goes down. I'm gonna buy me about 25,000 private land, build my community, put a wall around it because it's private land. I don't have to incorporate my land. This is private property. And I will determine who I allow into my city. And because it's my city, I will say who polices it and how. Ownership. Want to increase. Boy, this computer is giving me fits. This computer is giving me fits, man. Don't be giving me fits this morning. I got lessons to teach this morning. All right, so you can't buy self-worth. That was the next one. Third one is a wealth building mindset means you have to redefine what the good life and what wealth means to you in the first place. See, when I teach on the 5 critical steps to building wealth, the number one step is you have to first define what wealth even means. How are you going to go after something and you don't even know what it is you're going after? And the problem with you chasing somebody else's idea of the good life or wealth, what happens when they change the definition? See, because at one point, to have the good life means you were earning 6 figures. That ain't the good life anymore. You know why? There's something called inflation. So now, in order to have the good life, you need $250,000, $250,000. So as long as you're chasing somebody else's definition of wealth, what happens when they change the definition? Soon as you get your hands on it, man, I'm finally at 6 figures. And then they say 6 figures ain't the good life. The new 6 figures is $250,000. And now there you go, chasing again. See, you have to define what wealth means to you. Now, I'm going to give you my simple definition. If you're not feeling this, don't adopt it. Define what it means to you, right? To me, I consider myself wealthy when my non-wage income exceeds my expenses. When my non-wage income exceeds my expenses, I'm wealthy. Give you an example. If it takes me $4,000 a month to live, and I start bringing in money, non-wage, that means passive income. The moment my passive income exceeds, so if it takes me $4,000 per month to live, and my passive income gets to $4,500 per month, guess who's wealthy? Me. That's who. Because what does that mean, my passive income? That means whether I get out of bed or not, 45. It only costs $1,000 to live. So now I'm wealthy when my non-wage income. See, there's a lot of people call themselves wealthy. There's a lot of people that call themselves rich, but their income is tied to their labor. So what that means is if I'm an NFL football player and I make $500,000 per game according to my contract, but I'm also spending $500,000 per week balling out. My bills are high because everybody in my circle got a house. If my spending is $500,000 per week, I make $500,000 per game. I'm living a very rich lifestyle, but I'm not wealthy. Why? Because the moment my career ends and I stop making $500,000 per week due to my labor, how do I then keep up a $500,000 per week lifestyle when I can't make that with my labor? Don't get it twisted. That goes back to keeping up with the Joneses. Oh man, right now, I don't have a job. My non-wage income pays my bills right now. But my non-wage income does not give me the financial freedom doing, having a good time. And if I wasn't financially educated, I would compare myself to them and say, man, they're going on another trip. I ain't been on a trip this year. And they're going on a second trip. Well, they're paying for that trip with their labor. My lifestyle is paid for with non-wage income. I don't have to do this video. I don't have to go live. I don't have to promote the Black Wealth Movement. And guess what? My income is coming in whether I do nothing or whether I build my business aggressively. All right? So you want to get where you define what wealth means to you. And I'll go over my 5 critical steps to building wealth here as we get through the rest of these. But wealth has to be your definition. Otherwise, you continue to chase everybody else's definition and then they change the definition. You'll never get to what wealth is because you don't even know what it means. The next one is a wealth building mindset means distinguishing between what you want and what you need. What do you want? What do you want versus what do you need? What do you want versus my first critical step to building wealth is you have to first define what wealth means to you. The second step is you have to decide to be wealthy. The first step is you define it. Here's what wealth looks like to me. This is what I'm going after. Now let me decide. Now that I know what it is, let me make a conscious decision to go after it. So you have to decide what it means. The word decision is the opposite of the word incision. Incision means to cut in. Decision means to cut away. So when you're looking right here, you said distinguish between what you want and what you need. I have to, once I've made the decision, then all the choices that come behind that is relatively easy. Because I've already decided. Decide means to cut away. I cut away. Will spending this money further away. Is this something I absolutely need, or is this something I can do without, and I can take this money and continue to build wealth? You got to distinguish between what a want and a need is. What is it that you need? My wife will tell you about 80% of what we spend money on right now has to do with growing and elevating our business. If it ain't helping me to increase my net worth, we ain't spending on it, man. If I can't find a way to incorporate some sort of business activity to where we grow and expand our net worth, we ain't spending on it, right? Mark Crawford said, I just logged on to you. The idealism is noted. Is there any CD, DVD, or hard copy that I can purchase? Thank you. If you go to books.financialhealthmentor.com, you can grab my 2 books as well as a coach. But no, there aren't anything. It's Facebook. I'm looking for somebody who does some solid music, because I do have an idea to create some of the spoken word and some of these keynotes over music. That would be nice if you knew somebody who does music and want to help me produce a couple mixtapes. Appreciate you for tuning in, Mark. Make sure you like the page and turn on the notifications, because we're always online trying to spit this fire and help our people understand what it takes to build real and lasting wealth. So you need for the next, and beyond that, you take that money that you would have spent and you put it into a brokerage account, and you get prepared to start investing that. And watch what happens in the next 5 years. The next one, a wealth building mindset means focusing on being grateful for what you already have. This also goes back to the Joneses situation. When you're grateful for what you have, you don't need everything else. And Mark, you can also, I just thought about this, you can also download some of the shows from iTunes and Stitcher via podcast. iTunes and Stitcher. If you're an Apple person, then you go to iTunes and look up Talking Money in the Morning Live. And a lot of the episodes are on iTunes for you to download. If you're an Android person, go get the Stitcher app, and you can download a lot of the podcasts or listen to a lot of podcasts right there on Stitcher as well. When being grateful for what you have, you don't go chasing after everything else that everybody else got. When you focus on being grateful, you tend to not chase after everything everybody else got. I have mine through Charles Schwab, Nagus, but really there's not a whole lot of differences between the brokerage accounts outside of the fees that they charge. But really what I use my brokerage account for is to separate money for investing. And I haven't even used it to buy any stocks or any investments. I just got money going over there because ultimately what I'll do is take that money and buy me a mutual fund, buy into a mutual fund. But really, I teach everybody to have 3 accounts. You have a checking, savings, and a brokerage account. Your brokerage account gives you access to the market. If you're not an accredited investor, you don't have access to the market unless so as an individual. So you have to go through a brokerage account or some sort of investment banker, and a brokerage account gives you access to the market. So you can set up a brokerage account. It doesn't cost you anything. You do have to seed your account within the first 9. If you open it today, they're going to expect you to put at least $100 in there in the first 90 days. And you have to keep or they'll close one open over there, good to go. And then just set it up so you systematically putting money over there. You get to $25, $35, $45, $100. Then let's talk about some places that you can put that money that's going to grow at a double-digit rate of return. Game changer, man, when I start learning this stuff, man. So focus on being grateful for what you have. That is a mindset that a lot of people don't have. And because you're not grateful, you're always chasing something else. Is it needed to get a mutual fund with my trucking business? No, it's not needed, but you need most mutual funds. You need about 3 started, right? Most mutual funds, you need about $3 grand to get them started. So if you and most people who live in check to check are struggling in that department. So open a brokerage account and start funneling money over there so that you can start building up to that. But if you have a trucking business and you want to take some money and put it in a brokerage account so you can start getting some double-digit returns, that's why you want to be part of the Black Wealth Movement, man, because that's what we teach. So join the movement and we can coach you on how to get some of these double-digit returns. Now, I'm talking about 14, 15, 16. Returns. And so once this as multi-millionaires, net worth nearly $1 billion from my mentorship team. And I didn't know any of this stuff, man, until I joined this movement and they start putting me up on game, man. So when you join the Black Wealth Movement, you get access to almost $1 billion worth of financial intellect that can help guide you along these roads. So let me ask you a question. Is $50 per month worth having access to $1 billion worth of financial intellect? Because a lot of us have commitment issues. So it's like $50 a month, man, I ain't paying that for me to go find some information that I can find on my own. Like, all right, you 40 years old, you ain't found it yet. That's what people say. $50 a month, man, I can go find this information on my own. Oh, and you ain't found it yet. Just saying. I'm just saying. Right? We have some commission issues. The YouTube link is Financial Health Mentor as well. It's Financial Health Mentor as well. This H Cortez, your information you share is priceless. I've been working on my credit. I'm now happy to say I'm in the 700 club, moving on up. So 700 club, working on her credit. And she's just learning from hanging around the Black Wealth Movement. We're going to get her back in the Black Wealth Movement soon. But she's learned, she's got some other businesses, but she's learning what we do and how to take our strategies and use them for her businesses. And this is why I do this every day, y'all. As much as I would love for you to be directly a part of the Black Wealth Movement, really just take the strategies and run with them. People say, Cortez, you just want me in your money, in your movement so you can make money off me. I almost said the N-word. I give you the game for free every day. Ain't nobody trying to make money off you, man. I'm trying to make you some money. Is what I'm trying to do. Cortez, you just want to make money off me. No, I'm trying to make you some money. I'm trying to make money with you, not off you. I give you the game for free every day. If I was trying to make money off you, I wouldn't be here giving away these tips every day. I would do like everybody else does. Susie Orman and all those guys. I give you a very little say, now go buy my course. But we need to be fed this information over and over and over and over and over and over in order for it to sink in and break some of the chains of our financial ineptitude because of the way we've been conditioned. So I got to give you the game every day. From Canada, can I join the movement? Yes, but through a different opportunity. The primary opportunity with my econ is a stateside opportunity, but I do have some ways that you can build wealth on an international level. Just inbox me, Frank, and we'll talk about that. With these last all right, so we did what you want versus what you need. Focuses on being grateful. Man, come on, laptop. A wealth building mindset means educating yourself on wealth. And you guys are right now. You're allowing someone who's passionate about building wealth and learning, and you're learning how wealth works. Right? You're learning how money works. You're learning about capitalism. You're learning about tax minimization. You're learning about debt elimination. You're learning about credit. You're learning about investing. You're taking time out of your day. It's important. Now you take the next step and say, okay, I'm working through a learning, and I'm getting as much as I can get for free. Now I might have to start investing in my education. So you might have to buy a couple books, right? You might have to buy a coaching session or two. You might have to buy a membership because what we basically have is membership, right? Think about it. You got your spiritual membership with your church, your mosque, or your synagogue. You got your physical success membership with your gym, with the YMCA or whatever. Where's your money success membership? Where's your money success membership? Right? Say, Mr. Allen, it's tax advantages with the mutual fund, SEP, IRA, etc. Yeah, join the movement. It's some great information that can offer. And create through my 5 real quick, and then we'll call it a wrap. Yeah, so that was the last one, man. Get your financial education on. So here are my 5. First, you got to define what wealth means to you, right? You can't hit a target if you don't know what the target looks like. Once you define it, then you have to decide that, yes, I am going to be wealthy. I had you guys do this yesterday, but it is do it again. I want you to put in the chat, I've decided to be wealthy. And words are important, and the participle of a word is important. We're talking about I want you to write not I've decided. I want you to write I'm deciding. That's continual present tense. That means I'm to be wealthy. This decision to be wealthy, right? That means you're going to cut away the stuff that's stopping you from building wealth. And you're only going to surround yourself or participate in the things that are keeping you on the path to building wealth. I'm deciding to be wealthy every day. I'm deciding. I'm cutting away all of the crap. So when I have a choice to whether I'm going to spend money here, spend money there, I just bump that against my main decision. What is my decision? To be wealthy. So if I want to spend some money on something, is this going to bring me some more money? Is this going to help me build wealth, or am I building wealth for somebody else? Number 3, you have to then draw up a plan. Here's the Black Wealth Movement plan to build wealth. You start a home-based business with us. Taxes and off your lifestyle. So if you're not on a 1099, it's going to open up some more tax write-offs for you. And you're going to save money there. So start a home-based business. It's going to allow you to minimize your taxes. You take the tax savings and you use that for debt elimination. Get yourself out of debt. If we can help put an extra $500 a month back into your pocket, you take some of it and you start paying off your debts. You take some of it and you start funneling into that brokerage account. You take a little bit of it and you start building an emergency fund, right? This is our game plan. This is how we help people build wealth. Minimize your taxes. Take your tax savings and use it for emergency fund and investing. While you're at it, we're going to give you our credit program so you can be fixing your credit in the meantime. How do you get your credit right? Because credit is important. Fixing your credit. And then once you get yourself out of debt, you got your emergency fund built. Now we start going ham on the investments. Start investing and start building your investment portfolio. That's our wealth building game plan. So number 1, you got to define what wealth means to you. Number 2, you got to make a decision, man. You got to decide to be wealthy. Number 3, you've got to draw out a plan. Number 4, you've got to discipline yourself to execute the plan. I got a lot of people that I coach doing this, and even myself, sometimes I fall off the execution of the plan. You got to execute the plan. Look, Molly said, come on, coach. I went from disability income to using these strategies in education to building passive income. Now through the network, my squad and I started our own business. Man, we ain't playing, y'all. We ain't playing. We ain't playing, y'all. Read Molish's whole testimony, right? Somebody who said, I'm not satisfied with a monthly stipend. I need to build wealth. Went from disability income to now she's got several businesses that she's running, and her net worth is growing every day because she decided to be wealthy. So number 4, discipline yourself to execute the game plan. Number 5, even though all of them are critically important, number 5 is the most important and probably the toughest to execute, because number 5 says you've got to disassociate yourself from people that will not help you or support you in your pursuit of building wealth. Number 5 is the toughest of them all. You've got to literally disassociate yourself from people who will not help you build wealth, or if they're not going to help you, they have to at least be supportive. If not, it's bye, Felicia. And here's why that's so incredibly difficult. Because some of those people that you might have to disassociate yourself from might share your last name. Some of those people that you might have to start separating your aspirations from, some of those people are the people you're going to bed with every night. This is why it's so difficult, man. This is the one that's some of those people might be responsible for you being in this world altogether. I know people who got parents who are so degrading and so just negative about their child pursuing something greater for themselves. Why it's so hard. Got to disassociate yourself, man. It ain't easy. Got to disassociate yourself, man, from some people who either you're going to help me. If you're not going to help me, you're going to support me. If you're not going to support me, bye, Felicia. There is no in between. There's nothing. No. There's nothing else to say. Either you're going to help me or you're going to support me, but you're not going to try to hinder me. Mystical. And the man right here, he said, you're going to be down with me, be all the way down with me, or get from around me. Either you're going to be down with me. If you're going to be down with me, you got to be all the way down with me or get from around me. Some of y'all can't make the moves you want to make because the people that you respect are putting their thumb on you and holding you down. People that you love and trust, they're putting their foot on you and they're holding you down. And because you respect them in a certain way, because they've helped you 20 years ago, you still feel like you owe them something. So you're afraid to disassociate yourself. Man, listen. There's an audience of one that I perform for, and that's my Heavenly Father. Period. And because I'm performing for him, and my wife and my family serve the same God, what I'm doing for him, I'm also doing for them. And it all comes full circle. Say, misery loves company. Don't be the company. I started cutting all negative people out of my, you have to. You have to, y'all. And you don't have to go up to them and say, I'm cutting you out of my life. Here's how you do that. Here's how you do that. When you start associating with other people that are on the same page as you, that are thinking like you, by default, those other people fall out of your life. See, I didn't have to tell some of my homeboys that we can't hang no more. It's just when they came to hang, all I was talking about was building wealth. When they came to hang and we got together, we started hanging together, all I was talking about was building my business, buying my whole community where I grew up. Man, I'm finna buy all of this, dog. That's all I talked about because I had made a decision to be wealthy. So because that was all I talked about, when they start coming around, they was like, man, I ain't hanging with Tez no more, man. That's all he talk about is building wealth and getting rich. He ain't trying to have no fun. He ain't trying to blaze nothing. He ain't trying to drink. That's all he talking about is building a legacy for his family. I ain't trying to hear that. So guess what? They stopped coming around. So you just change and keep changing. Right? Speaking of change, that's another thing. Tez, dog, you changed. It's been 20 years, dog. You stayed the same. Tez, you different now. Dude, it's been 10 years. I should be different. I'm trying to figure out how you not different. So do your thing and don't let nobody stop you from doing your thing. And those who will not help you or support you, keep it moving. They'll stop coming around. And here's the key. When they stop coming around, just like the scripture says, when you get that evil spirit out of your head, you have to replace it with a good spirit, or else that one comes back 7 deep. So as those people start falling out of your life, start replacing them with people that will support you, that will help you, that will get you to the next level. So when those people try to come back in your life, I ain't got time for you, man, because I'm building. I'm building. I'm building. Right? I'm up here. And if you want to build, that's cool. But let me connect you with some people who are building on your level, and y'all start growing together. And I'll reach down and help you when I can. But I can't leave from up here and go all the way down here to help you build because you my homeboy. No, when I was here with you and I told you we were building, you didn't want to build. So I can't come from up here all the way down here and help you build. What I can do is turn you on to some resources that will help you on the level that you at. But I can't stop my momentum to come down and pull you up by your bootstraps. So that's it for today's show, man. Y'all got me a little fired up this morning, but it's all good, man. Remember, if you have not already liked the show, like the page, make sure you like the Financial Health Mentor page. If you didn't pay your price for admission to today's show, hit the share button right now. Go ahead and share the stream on your timeline. There's somebody who's trying to develop a wealthy mindset. They just don't know how, right? A lot of people who are listening to this stream had other things going on in the mornings, and they said, you know what? Instead of listening to Tupac this morning, I'd rather listen to this brother talk about building wealth. Well, you got some people on your timeline who might be ready to make that transition. They just don't know where to turn. Share this with them, man. Might change somebody's life this morning. So today's show is brought to you by the Generational Wealth Building Conference going down in Atlanta this weekend, April 6th through the 8th. Go to wealth.joincorteznow.com to get all the details and get your tickets. Also, Financial Health Mentor Bookstore. I got 2 books that will help you. This one will help you with building wealth. This one will help you transform your passions into profits. If you get the book bundle, you will actually be able to not only get these books, you get a 1-month subscription to my Branding and Marketing Academy, and you get a coaching session with me, depending on which bundle you get. It could be a 15-minute, 30-minute, or 1-hour session. So I'm just trying to help our people build without breaking their banks. So you guys know that everything that we do is very cost effective, that can help you transition, but it does require an investment in yourself. So I'm H Cortez, the one and only financial health mentor to the Black community, everybody's favorite fatherpreneur. Until I talk to you next time, I want you to get your money up because you absolutely can do it. But more importantly, you deserve to do it, each and every one of you. Peace out, y'all.